everybody, and welcome to Board Game Breakfast. Well, here we go. This has been an interesting week. This is the week of the Dice Tower Retreat, sponsored by Restoration Games. We're excited about it and planning to go. I hope. Well, I mean, the retreat's going to happen one way or the other. But if you have not noticed, a gigantic hurricane is probably about to hit Florida by the time you watch this. Now, I'm recording this quite early, so we're still not sure where the hurricane's going to come, whether Hurricane Dorian is going to hit Miami at all, miss us, miss everything completely. Either way, we are definitely in DEFCON mode around here. So that is something to be warned of. If you don't see a lot of live stuff this week or what have you, that is why. So we're going to be making calls as the next couple days, and they will have been made beforehand, but we're preparing for that. And as soon as I'm done recording this video, that's all we're doing. But other things are going on. I do want to mention Dice Tower West. Dice Tower West registration went live last week. Hopefully it's not sold out by the time this video goes live, but go check anyway. You want to come. It's going to be a fantastic convention next year at dicetowerwest.com. We were able to add some cruise rooms earlier too, and a few of those are still available because we were able to add some extra cruise rooms to the ship, so you can check that out at dicetowercruise.com. I also want to make an announcement here. The Dice Tower is pleased to welcome Sharon Madden as Director of Dice Tower East. So I mentioned Dice Tower East earlier this year, and Sharon has been working on this for almost a month now. She brings a wealth of experience in event planning and administration to this position, and she's excited to tie in this event with her love of board games. She's been playing board games actively for the past 20 years, and she has a lot of specialties. She speaks German and Czech, and she's been administrator for many other things, and she has built, and we have a team working around her with Nina and Lindsay and the Dixons, and we are working on this registration for Dice Tower East. We're planning to have that go live early October. We'll announce the exact date soon. We're working on that and getting all that together, and Sharon is doing a fantastic job. So, we talked about Sharon, we talked about the hurricane, we talked about Dice Tower Retreat. This is an eventful week no matter what. But it cannot stop Board Game Breakfast, so let's get going. That's right. Before we jump into what's going on the internet this week, there is a contest. All right, so we have a contest for Catacombs Cubes going on. And you can win this contest. You can win a copy, a full pledge level of the game. All you have to do is email us at contests@dicetower.com. And in the subject heading, just put the word cubes. Cubes will work, and we're going to pick a winner from that. So how do you enter this? Well, you need to go to the Kickstarter page, which is linked in our description below, and answer this question. Which Catacombs hero does not appear in Catacombs Cube? Victoria M., Qalloc, Benaris, Raisthrim, or Maireya? I don't even know if I pronounced those names correctly. However, if you're like, well, how do I remember all those names? We'll have those listed in the description of the video below. All you gotta do is email us with the one that's not there, and if you watch the intro video, you'll figure it out. Catacombs Cubes is a new game from the folks who made Catacombs, a flicking game, but this one here is where you'll be using cubes to build buildings to help build a fantasy-style town. So this contest will last for a week, so check it out and email us. So what did I find on the internet this week? Well, there's a geek list on Board Game Geek about games with unique board shapes. Not modular boards, but just a unique shape. Most board games, obviously, are squares and rectangles. Here we have boards with different types of shapes. I also found on Boing Boing this double-layered D20. There was complaints that a D20 doesn't roll perfectly. Here we have a D20 inside a D20. It's pretty pricey, but it looks cool. There's a petition to put Duluth in the Duluth in the right place on the Ticket to Ride map. This has been a source of contention for many people, and the reason it's not in the right place on the Ticket to Ride map is because they need to connect these trains. You need to put plastic trains between the different cities, so they put it in the wrong spot. And in fact, if you have the 10th anniversary of Ticket to Ride, there's a little sign that says the real Duluth lies here. but there's a petition for this. Will it work? Yeah, right. Have you seen petitions? Burn the Tavern Down is a new blog that started that has tips and tricks on how to do well at games. So that's at burntheTavernDown.com. Pop Culture Uncovered, a website that doesn't have much to do with board games at all, did a review of the Jaws board game, which I thought was interesting. It's neat to see other websites that have nothing to do with board games come in and be like, wow, this works really well. Board Games Are Magic is a video that Tantrum House put up where they do a little bit of magical tricks. I'm sure it's with video and stuff about board games, so you can see that. 3 games at once. I found this on Instagram where somebody is playing 3 games at the same time. This seems a little insane to me. I have played 2 games at a time before, but that's only because one game was so long and boring. We played a little game on the side. I don't know if I could be like, I'll play this game, I'll play this game, I'll play this game. That seems like that would be something you would do only to say you've done it. I don't know that it would be very much fun. Paula Deming did a video called How to Play, which is a fantastic parody on the board game media. Very, very funny stuff, so check that out. And I found on Poker Chip Forum, there's some custom chips being made for 18xx games. So if you want to get some chips that have trains on them so you can use them with those games, look like they were running around 3 for $1, which is not too bad of a price for good quality chips. So you can check that out. That's what I found on the internet this week. Let's keep moving.
Randy and Ellen, we game together.
It's your turn.
Ooh.
Hey guys, I'm Randy.
I'm Ellen. Welcome to We Game Together.
Yes.
Merlin, baby.
Merlin.
This is a Steffenfeld delicious point salad rondelle style game.
So a rondelle meaning that it's a wheel in this particular one, so it's a true rondelle.
Yes.
And as you go along, if you pass a space, you essentially have to go all the way back around to get back to that space.
Yeah.
But in addition to that, you can move Merlin, which goes either way on the wheel. And then we also play the Arthur expansion, which has an inner wheel, and that can go both ways.
Yep.
Lots of AP.
I've never had such intense AP. Ever.
You were,
even more than
paralyzed.
Feast for Odin, I could not make a decision. There's so much to do, but in a fantastic way. I was like giggling the whole time.
I mean, AP times 2 or 3 for you. You don't usually get AP very much, but this one you
just
were like
make a choice and do it. I'm like,
you're like frozen on multiple occasions.
I could not. I loved it so much. The art is amazing. I love the board. A lot of love went into it. I think.
But I
love the style.
I'm not sure
if you love the style.
It's neat.
I just love all the little tiny little details you see in it. But anyways, I also I think I gotta pay a lot because when the other person takes their turn, you don't know if they're gonna move their knight, Arthur, or Merlin.
Sure.
Which we played with the
only
Arthur
Merlin
expansion
and
and the Queen
Arthur,
expansion.
Yeah, only Merlin and Arthur.
But you don't. You're kind of getting your turn ready in your mind, and you have to count every individual space.
There's
if you have abilities, you can go backwards. And so then when the other person goes and they move what you were going to do, it's like, oh, you kind
That's true.
Yeah.
There's a lot of AP just in general with, you have 3 dice that can move your knight, you have 1 dice that can move Merlin, and 1 that moves Arthur. So there's just lots of different ways and combinations. Like, well, if I do this one, then that'll move this one, and this will move that one, and then I can go this way, and then I have special abilities that let me go backwards. Because there's like 6 different special abilities you get at one of the 6 provinces. So you can essentially do 3 things there. You can get shields that block out invaders that you get each round to negate your negative points. There are 6 different, like I said, special abilities around the board. And then influence, which kind of helps you kind of get around the board without having to be on that side of the board. So lots of really good stuff. Definitely a great feld. Ellen loves it to death, apparently.
So much.
I like it quite a bit, but I don't know where it quite ranks in my felds, but maybe we'll do a video on that sometime.
Maybe we will. Maybe.
Check us out here. Check us out there. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Brothers set loose in a thrift store. This is Thrift Store Throwbacks.
What's up, everybody? I'm Mike.
I'm Nick.
We're the Brothers Murph, and we have a cool game from a thrift store called
Count Your Chickens.
Now, this game is missing some components, so what we figured is this is a good opportunity to get some other cool things like this Hobbit collectible cards that we got from the thrift store, and we can combine things to make a really cool game experience.
Yeah, so let's retheme it to something we actually care about, except for instead of chickens, like Lord of the Rings or something like that.
All right, so this is Count Your Chickens, but we are going to make this Lord of the Rings. So instead of a mama hen, we're going to have Gandalf right here, and he's going to be going down the path, ever winding, hopefully ending up at Minas Tirith there, but there's lots of things along the way. Now over here we have little chicks, but those could be those could be hobbits and dwarves and the realms of man and stuff. And you're going to be going around and going through the different areas and stuff. And Bilbo here might encounter different things by spinning this spinner. If you get a cow, oh my god, that might be a nice pickle. Or a dog, that could be like dwarves and things. You're trying to collect all of these cards along your way, but there's trolls on your way. You might go over here to Mirkwood, where you have a Dementor in a beanie, looks like Matthew Jude. And if you roll the fox or spin the fox over here, you have to encounter Smaug. And you say, "Get out of here, Smaug!
I am Smaug!
Get out of here! Get out of here, Smaug! Get out!" Or you might end up in a place with some queer lodgings. Ooh, that must be very fun. And you can encounter this fine fella as you go all the way up to Minas Tirith, and hopefully you have all of your members of the Fellowship there with you at the end.
So that was Count Your Chickens, or Lord of the Rings Chicken. I don't know.
Fellowship, count your hobbits, man.
Count your habits.
So this is a game that's basically meant to teach you counting and how far we move, spatial awareness, things like
From
that.
Peaceable Kingdom, they always make cooperative games to teach kids. We've actually reviewed a couple of their games before on here before.
So real quick, tomorrow, September the 3rd, we have a giveaway that we're doing. We're getting rid of like 50 plus games of ours that we did a video about. And we're going to be giving those to you in different bundles. And we also have new and old games from publishers, including Gen Con releases and some stuff that hasn't even come out yet.
Yeah, indeed. It's just a way to celebrate our anniversary here on YouTube. We're very, very excited. This will be on Twitch. You can go to twitch.tv/TheBrothersMurph. And we'll be giving away, we think, somewhere between 70 and 80 games. So you have a pretty good chance of winning something. So be there 6 p.m. It's going to be absolutely bananas. It's going to be great.
Big old party. So we will see you, not at the thrift store, but there at the live stream tomorrow.
Yeah, exactly.
See you there. Come on down, win some stuff. Blam.
Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
We are back.
Yes, hi everyone.
Hi.
My name is Dave Luza.
I'm Ilka Luza, and we are back from summer vacation.
Yeah, and that also means that Essen Spiel is around the corner.
So we thought it would be good to give you the essentials. You know what we did there? Did you notice? Yeah, it's a very clever play on words. We want to give you general and specific info about Essen, the surrounding area, and...
Because, we live like 20 minutes away from the fair.
Yes.
But Ilka, you lived in Essen.
Yes, I grew up there. It's still one of my favorite towns. It's a beautiful town. It's one of Germany's 10 biggest cities. Yes, it is a big city. 580,000 inhabitants. That is, for German standards, a big town.
Yeah, it is. And it really is lovely. And the city center is great, but mostly you'll be going to the fair. Now, if you're flying in and you don't know what to do, well, you will probably be flying in to Düsseldorf Airport.
Yes. Fly through Düsseldorf Airport. It's a great airport. It's 10 minutes from our house. Make sure to say hi on your way. The
wave.
abbreviation is DUS. Don't do any other airport. Because
there's one close by that calls itself Düsseldorf North. It's definitely not close to Düsseldorf.
Very far away. When you arrive, just take public transportation to Essen Central Station.
You can do that in Germany.
You can do it.
Yeah.
You can ask anyone. Most everyone will speak at least decent English, and everyone is really friendly and helpful, and they will help you. So you go to Essen Central Station, Essen Hauptbahnhof, and then you take a short metro ride to the Messe, and then you're there.
Yeah, welcome to Germany.
Yes.
We're gonna answer more questions. If you have any questions, just send them to us. Either put them in the comments here or reach out to us on Twitter @TheHappyLuza is where you will find us directly.
Yes, remember there are no stupid questions, just stupid people.
And we'll see you next week at more Essentials.
Essentials, yes. Bye.
Bye.
So what's coming from the Dice Tower this week? Well, we have quite a few reviews, or at least I have several reviews lined up. Like I said, we don't know what's going to happen with the hurricane. So our live stuff this week is going to be, who knows, right? But the other stuff, the reviews are going to be coming. I'm going to be taking a look at some expansions, the expansion for Western Legends, the expansion for Vindication, King of Tokyo, the newest monster for King of Tokyo. I'm going to be taking a look at a new escape room style game, Mystery House, where you look inside the walls of that, and a few other games. In fact, I don't think I'm doing any negative reviews this week. All my reviews happen to be positive that are coming out. That's just the way they work worked out this time, but I'm excited about many of them. And of course, our podcast will be dropping tomorrow, where Eric and I talk about our top 10 games that start with the letter G, and just other things that you'll see sprinkled throughout the week, because we do usually record earlier ahead of time, so you should see that stuff coming up. So enjoy.
Hi, we're Board Game Opinions. I'm Steve.
I'm Amy.
I'm Mark.
And I'm Jonathan.
And we're now having a go at a picture quiz. These guys have each got set a problem by me. They have a picture. They've got to try and work out what board game related thing connects the three pictures, but the key bit is they can't show each other the picture, they have to describe it. We're going to see how they do when they call me back.
You ready? Look at your picture.
Oh.
I have Mission Red Planet.
I've got a really old game with Ronald Reagan on the cover of it, called Opportunity. Looks like an abstract game. And I've got what's the co-op? Spirit Island.
I've got a fish person who's blue and he's got his hand over the surround that he's in, and then he's got pictures of sort of symbols of different types of land all around him with shovels in between each of those.
Okay, so we need to connect them. Was it the connection between the three? Is that right? Spirit Island. I've got an island.
I've got
Planet.
I've got
But I don't know what my Opportunity game is. It's like really old. Island seems good though.
Island.
Because you reckon you've got an island, is it?
No, I've
You've
got
got
Mission
Mars.
Red Planet. It's a red.
It's Mars. Isn't
It's Mars,
it?
yes.
Divided into different regions.
Yes,
is that
that's
right?
correct.
And what does yours look like, Amy? Again?
Mine's a terraforming style game, so it clearly like
Terra Mystica?
Terra Mystica or something. It possibly is Terra Mystica, yeah.
Okay, so what's the connection? Alien.
Going to a new planet, because you go to a new island, you go to a new planet. And
Hang on. Ronald Reagan was famous for the space race, wasn't
Yes.
he? Maybe it's about other places, like going to other
Travelling.
planets. Alien worlds. How about that? Alien worlds.
Okay.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm happy with that.
Yeah.
Should we call Steve?
Gonna call Steve.
Steve!
They actually said the right answer between Mark's sentences and Amy's sentence.
Mine's a terraforming style game.
It's Mars, isn't
Mars,
it?
yeah.
Where's Mission Red Planet Space?
Mars.
And this is what part of Playboard?
Terraforming?
Correct.
Terraforming Mars?
Which had two rovers that went to it called Spirit and Opportunity.
Oh, right, okay.
You said Spirit and Opportunity. Obviously, this is a game no one knows anything about, so I chucked it in there. And if you get it from these two, this is the one would say, if you Terraforming Mars, Spirit and Opportunity would have got you there. But they didn't go down that track. They didn't even think the connection as a board game, which has probably hindered them a bit. Did anyone get it at home? That was a pretty tough one. Hopefully you enjoyed it, and we'll have another one next time.
Bye.
Hey there, I'm Jen, the board game librarian, with my segment From the Page to the Table. And today I am at Osprey's booth with
Philip Hartelius from Osprey Games.
Osprey Games. Awesome. Thank you so much for meeting with me today. And we're here to talk about Jonathan Strange and Mr. Morel.
Strange and Mr. Morel is a game based on the book by the same name by Susanna Clarke. The 2 to 4 player game plays about an hour and a half. You're all magicians in England in the dawn of the 19th century, and it's a rebirth of English magic. You're trying to be the most prominent magician of the age. You're doing that by going to fancy parties and meeting famous people. So you're collecting cards throughout the game that will have invitations to these parties, introductions to these famous people, but they'll all be associated with location along the board. So I might have a morning visit in Rome, for example, or I might be invited to a fashionable party in Soho Square.
Oh, well, I want to go to a fashionable party, don't you?
Absolutely. So by going to these things, and planning out where to go and when to go and what to use these cards for, I'm going to be getting various perks, more cards, more prestige, more fame. But the same cards also have magic elements that I'm using complete feats of magic, which are these huge, basically magical events that magic cause. And by doing the most of that is ultimately how I'm going to win. That's sort of the core of the game. There's a few more things going on, but that captures sort of the spirit of the game.
Wonderful. And how many players?
So it's 2 to 4.
2 to 4 players. So what's our run time on this?
So it's an hour and a half.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I was just saying to you before this, it looks like Susanna Clarke. I don't know if she looked like she had played it too. Had a wonderful quote. She really felt it captured the spirit of the books too.
Yeah, absolutely.
What's our price point on this game?
So this is $50 plus tax.
$50, and it's out already?
It is out and available.
All right. Wonderful. Thanks so much. We'll see you next time.
Howdy folks, welcome to By the Numbers. My name is Hunter Thomason from the Family Showdown. This week we're continuing my Through the Years series. We look at the top rated game on Board Game Geek by year, starting with 1970. This week, 1979. Taking a look at the top 5, we see the number 1 game from 1979 is Dune, coming in at 253 overall. I'm so glad to see another non-war game on the top list. Wait a minute. What's in the box? Chits? A combat wheel? Is this a war game? Take a look at the ratings. Over 5,000 of them. We see mostly 8s. Some other ratings in there. For overall rating of 7.6. Taking a look at the weight, a 3.44. Kind of a heavier game. But all the games seem to be heavy that we're doing on this list in the 70s. Dune is an area control game, but it's much, much more than that. There's bluffing, negotiation, combat, all sorts of variable player powers, all kinds of craziness going on. Sadly, Dune has been out of print for a long time, decades in fact, but it got rethemed in 2012 into Rex in the Twilight Imperium Empire, but that game's out of print too. But it looks like you're going to be able to get your hands on Dune in the near future. How can this be? Because it's back in print. Gale Force 9 has released a shiny new version of Dune. It's available for pre-order over on Cool Stuff for $36. Crazy. Dune looks like my kind of game. It's got bluffing, negotiation, attackiness. If you're ever playing this game at the Dice Tower Cruise or on Dice Tower East, then look me up because I would love to play a 6-player game of Dune. See you next time.
We continue to build up the Dice Tower library. What did we add this week? Well, we added Super Fight, which is a party game, and I know a lot of people like it, so it's in. Eternal Chronicles of the Throne. I wasn't the biggest fan, but I know a lot of people will like it. Inuit, this game is fantastic. You should try it out. Also, we added Dungeon Lords, the gigantic anniversary edition. And Red Peak, we did a Miami Dice event this week. U.S. Telegraph from Super Meeple, which is a remaking of an older game. Hey, it's the second edition of Nothing Personal with expansion included and the fantastic game QE Pipeline, with some upgraded components, Magic Fold, and then all the way here for Eric Summer, Merchant of Venus. We needed a copy of that. We also have the expansion for Dinosaur Island, Totally Liquid, Street Masters from the Sadler Brothers, Doodle Rush, and Pyramid of the Penguin. Both of those going to our kids' library. From Bezier Games, we have Castles of Mad King Ludwig, The Palace of Mad King Ludwig, and America. So that's all going in the library. Santa Malo, this is a roll and write that Z taught us a while ago. And Trois. We also have Cytosis with upgraded components in it, as well as Wakanda Forever. I wasn't a big fan of it, but some of y'all may like it. Then we have from Red Raven Games, 8-Minute Empires Legends, as well as the original 8-Minute Empires and Artifacts Incorporated. With the expansion included, we have Bargain Quest, and of course the big game we just reviewed, Reavers of Midgard, as well as some more games from Bezier, both Subdivision and Favor of the Pharaoh. For Too Many Bones, we have the expansion Undertow. Wow, that was heavy. For Zulkin, we have the expansion Tribes and Prophecies. We have Dizzle and Patchwork, 2 roll and writes, as well as another roll and write, Cat Cafe. We have Virulence. This is from Genius Games, as well as Fields of Green with expansion, Last Will with expansion, and Manhattan Project, well, not really with the expansion. Then we have the Brigade, along with its expansion, Way of the Wardens, as well as Medium, and Lewis and Clark with upgraded Board Game Geek components, Wordsmith, Barrage. Ooh, Barrage. Okay, anyway, Mega City Oceano, some small card games, Iconus, Saboteur, and No Objects, as well as One Night Ultimate Supervillains and One Night Ultimate Werewolf. Then we got a couple 2-player games, Imhotep the Duel and Kahuna for our kids' library, Harry Hopper. And then we have Colony from Bezier Games, as well as Foodies. And then these 2 big giant games, Hoplomachus Rise of Rome and Hoplomachus The Lost Cities. Whew, so many games.
Well, hi everybody, I'm Doug Jr.
And I'm Doug III.
And you're watching a Fellowship of Meeples with Doug and Doug Gaming. Well, during our last game night, we played the modern classic Splendor.
There were some people at our game group that had never played before, and it went over great. if you're like us, maybe you have played and you just left it on your shelf a little bit too long.
The play area consists of 3 different levels of development cards, along with these tokens that represent gems and gold.
Turns consist of 1 action. You could take 3 different colored gems, or you could take 2 of one color as long as the stack contains at least 4 gems. You can never have more than 10 gems in your possession at one time.
You might choose to reserve one of the face-up development cards from the table, or even a face-down card from one of the supply decks. If you reserve a card, you also get a gold token. And gold tokens are good because they're wild.
Once you have enough gems, you may choose to buy a development card by paying the combination of gems listed here at the bottom left of the card. Development cards carry the bonus of a specific gem, and once you own it, you may use it to purchase other development cards. Only bonuses don't get used up. You always have them to spend.
Some development cards carry prestige points. Gain 15 prestige points and you trigger the final round. End that round with the most points and you win the game.
If you own enough bonuses, you may activate a visit from one of the nobles across the top of the play area, which will also bring prestige points.
Splendor plays quick and smooth, and it's the epitome of a good engine-building game.
And some people have said that the game Century Spice Road is a Splendor killer because of the similarities between the two, but we actually disagree. We really like them both individually, and there's pros and cons to both.
Well, we appreciate you watching this episode of A Fellowship of Meeples, and I hope that you have a splendorous day.
Nice.
Hi, I'm Jordan. This is Second Chance Shelf. Usually I look back at an older game. Today I just wanted to talk. I've been thinking a lot about release dates for games and how they often just don't exist. So say a game was released at Essen last year by a German company and it's not here in the United States. Somebody went to Essen and brought it over to the United States. Now they can play that game. But other people in the United States really aren't able to play that game. Maybe you're able to play it at a con, but it's still not quite out yet. And then it gets, then it comes out by a US company at Gen Con. But they had a limited quantity at Gen Con, so there's only like 500 out in the world. And then it doesn't actually hit stores until maybe December after Gen Con. What is the release date for that game? Is it when it came out at Essen? Is it when it came out at Gen Con? Is it when it actually hits stores for the actual general public to get the games? Most people don't go to conventions. Most people aren't traveling to the other side of the world to buy your silly little game. So I was looking at games to review for this segment because I like to look at older games. And I was so surprised to see that a game came out years before when I actually was able to purchase it in stores. So like a game that I thought just came out in the US like a year and a half ago was actually at like the release date on BGG was like 2014. That's 5 years ago, but it just got over here. So yeah, I don't really have anything to add to this discussion. I just wanted to point out the absurdity of this part of our hobby. What do you guys think? I'm Jordan. Happy breakfast.
Games are games. I have spent a good chunk of the last month making the collection for the Dice Tower Library big and large, finding all the cool games. Companies have sent us tons of games to put in the library. We've hunted them down. I've seeded it with my personal collection. There's a lot of really cool games in this collection. The hurricane is bearing down on us, and people have often say, if your house was on fire, what games would you grab? And my answer to that has always been none of them. I would get my family. Okay, but what if your family was safe? Then I would grab my computers with pictures on it. I would grab keepsakes. I have a box that has stuff from Jack, my son who died several years ago. I would grab that. Games would be one of the very last things. And don't get me wrong, I have a lot of games that have special meaning to me, games that I worked really hard, games that are valuable. But I just wouldn't grab them. Now, they're in a storage unit, and now, anyhow, the storage unit is climate controlled because in Florida, humidity is a big deal. The storage unit is pretty secure from hurricanes. I'm not worried about it being destroyed or anything. But I'm thinking about this because we're going to be moving games and doing a lot with games over the next few days as we head them up to the retreat. Then there's a possibility that rain will be coming down. But, you know, it is what it is, you know, and it's still a game at the end of the day. You know, I listen to different things, and people talk about games, and they get happiness, you know, from walking in and looking at a pile of games. And I get that, you know, there's a collection can give you some joy, but at the end of the day, I realize that it's a thing. People ask me all the time, why do you dump games on the table? Don't you have respect for games? Well, not really. It's a physical object. You know, I want to treat things as well as I can. And as I said before, component drops don't really hurt games, but it's a game. You know, if I go home and I forget something, a game, I might not go back and get it. When I put my games, I let other people borrow them. I let people eat food around them because they're just games. They're just physical objects. Now, do they bring us a lot of joy? They do, but I think games are the catalyst. Games are the catalyst that allow me to spend time with other fantastic people. I've met a lot of wonderful people in my life because of gaming, and I look really forward to meeting more as time goes by because of gaming. And games allow that. And I don't mean that to put games down, and the work of the designers, the artists, the publishers, and the sculptors, and everyone as they make these games. But at the end of the day, if I take the game away and I no longer want to have a relationship with you, that's problematic to me. The game was there so that I could have a relationship with you, and I met so many people who I've become friends with, and I meet so many people at conventions, and even though our friendship may be very limited to, hey, and we just have a nice conversation, I wouldn't have done that without the game. So for that, I'm thankful for games. So who knows what's going to happen over these next few days. I'm ready, I hope, but at the end of the day, it's the people that matter the most to me.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Aaron from the Board Game Brothers, and welcome to another Mystery Component Monday, a segment where I show a game piece, and it's up to you to try to guess what game that piece comes from. So, let's put on our thinking caps, because here's this week's picture. Okay, time's up, pencils down, and thinking caps off. And the answer to this week's question is Ink and Gold. Ink and Gold is a push-your-luck game where players take on the role of explorers, delving into the ruins of a temple, searching for valuable gems and artifacts. Any gems found on your exposition are split amongst all players still in the temple, but beware, players may also encounter snakes, spiders, and deadly traps along the way. Players may only keep their found treasure if they decide to run out of the temple and stash it inside their tent. If players decide to stay for a chance of finding more treasure, they may lose it all if they encounter too many of the same deadly creatures or traps within the temple. The game is played over the course of 5 rounds, and the player with the most points from gems and artifacts is the winner. With a max player count of 8 players and a playtime of roughly 30 minutes, this is a perfect game to play with a large group of people and have a wonderful time doing so. Just watch out for those mummies. And that's this week's game. Congratulations to everybody who got it right, and for everybody else, there's always next week. Until then, I'll see you later.
Hi folks, my name is Annie and welcome to Potable Gaming, the show about games which are fun to play in pubs and cafes. So as you can see, I'm not in my usual filming location, and compared to the last time I filmed in this room, it looks very different. Reason being is I'm looking to move house soon, and I was hoping to have moved by now, but I haven't. And the reason I'm telling you this is that I film all my videos in like groups. I spend a night at my location, film like 4 or 5 videos, put them together, start editing them and release them week by week. I did that a few weeks ago, and now I'm running out of them before the move happens, and all my games now live in these boxes. So I might not get a chance to film too much stuff between now and then. If I do go dark, don't worry about it. But while I've been filming, I have not filming as the case may be, while I've been packing, I've been thinking about gateway games. And you think, why? So I curate a good little selection of gateway games, because often I find myself going to friends' houses and taking games so they can learn how to play games. And Sarah was asked by one of our customers, can you recommend me a game, because you like board games? And we struggled to think of a good game, because these people didn't have any kind of knowledge of board gaming, and we can think of all your standard, your Catans, your Carcassones, your Ticket to Rides, but all of the things that we really wanted to recommend perhaps required just that little bit extra knowledge. However, these were games, if we were playing with you, we would be able to teach you no problems. You wouldn't need to have that knowledge if we were there to help you out. And it makes you think, like, I would have used that as a gateway game, but not necessarily sold it as one. And that makes me think there's two types. There are gateway games you can make somebody pick up on their own and learn. There are gateway games that can be taught, and people can learn easily, but with somebody who knows how to play. So games I'm thinking of are things like Cold Express or Clank. I could teach you those games, but I wouldn't necessarily expect you to be able to learn them on your own without any gaming knowledge. Now let me know what you think. I might be overthinking this entirely. This could be a ridiculous idea of my part, or it could be exactly what I'm talking about. I don't know. Sound off in the comments below what you think. Anyway, thanks so much, folks. I've been Andy, and it's your round.
Happy breakfast, everyone. Today I'm going to talk to you about underwater cities. Now, spoilers, I really like the game, but thematically, the rulebook sets a few things up that are just niceties. Now, first of all, at the very end of the rulebook, it says, no matter where you come points-wise, congratulations, you've developed an underwater city, so millions have food, shelter, and all that jazz. Now, that's a nice touch. But the really important bit is the cards. Now, the central mechanism of the game is you'll play a card and choose a spot on the board. If the colour matches, then you get the board action that you've chosen. That's your worker blocking off that place. But you'll also, if the colour matches, you'll get that card benefit too. Now, it's very kind of like, right, I play the same colour, I get both actions. The way it explains it in the rulebook thematically is that your worker is specialised in that field. Now, it might be the green field, the red field and the orange field, but it's a worker that's specialised in that field. So if you place that worker in that right place, they're able to, be the specialist, do that extra thing. Whereas if you play a worker that doesn't have that specialty, you're only going to get sort of the thing you've assigned them to do. They're not going to go above and beyond. Now, it's not much, but it makes understanding and explaining the game just that little bit easier when you throw in a bit of theme like that, and I really like it. It just made the whole learning process and getting the game to the table that bit easier. Anyway, that's Underwater Cities. Very much recommend it. I'm not sure it's 100% a Terraforming Mars-like game like everyone says, but I can see there's certainly aspects, if you like one, you might like the other. So, very good. Anyway, I'm Oliver East, signing out.
And that's it for another Board Game Breakfast. Thanks so much for watching. I'm glad to have you all here with us. Keep us in your thoughts and prayers over these next few days. And, of course, everybody, when we sit there and we say, man, I hope this storm misses us, sometimes that's at the cost of it hitting somebody else. And that's not I don't want to feel any joy in a hurricane hitting other people. So the hurricane's likely affecting people right now. So keep your minds and thoughts on them. Alrighty, well, hopefully you have a fantastic week. If we do keep everything going, we're going to try to stream live from the Dice Tower Retreat this week. Watch our Twitter feed, watch our Facebook. We'll keep you updated with how everything's going here. Until next time, I'm Tom Vasel. You've been watching Board Game Breakfast on the Dice Tower.
Thanks for watching Board Game Breakfast. Tune in each week for your daily dose of gaming goodness with Tom Vasel and all the gang. Until next time, I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching Board Game Breakfast, a Dice Tower production, sponsored by Cool Stuff Inc., an amazing place to buy board games. Cool stuff in stock at CoolStuffInc.com.